Okay, let's unpack this. Have you ever felt like you're searching for something more? You know, a deeper shift beyond just temporary relief.
Hmm.
Maybe you feel a bit overwhelmed by all the information out there, or you just know deep down that the quick fixes, the superficial stuff, it just isn't cutting it anymore.
Absolutely. It's a common feeling, I think.
Well, today we're taking a deep dive into a really fascinating approach to personal transformation. One that seems to speak directly to that feeling, offering maybe a kind of roadmap for profound internal change.
Yeah, our mission today is really to explore these distinct pathways that Vincent Crown offers. We want to understand how his program aims to guide people through these deep, lasting internal shifts. So we're not just looking at what he offers like a menu, but really digging into why these methods seem to matter and, crucially, how they might connect to your own unique journey.
And where are we getting this from? What's the source?
So our main source for this deep dive is this really illuminating audio he put out. It's called Which Path is Yours? How to Work with Me in the Vincent Crown Program. And you can find it on his YouTube channel, Tiempo y Atención Mente Cuántica.
Oh.
It's important to note, this audio actually builds on a foundational discussion he had earlier called What is Quantum Vibration? What You Should Know Before the Vincent Crown Program. He actually describes that one as a kind of universal guide, useful not just for his program, but really for navigating daily life itself.
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? Vincent Crown's central question in this whole thing is, well, it's profoundly simple but feels incredibly powerful. Which path is yours? It's such a fundamental question because it directly challenges that whole notion of a one-size-fits-all solution for personal growth, right?
Exactly.
It emphasizes that, not all transformative processes need the same level of intensity. And maybe more importantly, not everyone resonates with change at the same speed or even in the same way. It feels like it's about finding that bespoke solution, the path that meets you exactly where you are, instead of trying to force yourself into some prepackaged box.
That's a great way to put it. And what's truly fascinating right from the start is the sharp distinction he draws between, let's say, temporary relief and what he considers true, deep transformation.
Okay, tell me more about that distinction.
Well, he opens his discussion by acknowledging something interesting. He says, sometimes just a single conversation or a simple gesture, maybe a really potent word, or even just taking a few moments for conscious breathing, that can be enough. It can unlock issues you've held for ages, allowing them to just dissolve.
So it doesn't always have to be this massive undertaking.
Not always. But then he pivots. He mentions being asked in a previous interview, how do you get to this point? And his answer was quite candid, maybe a bit blunt. He said, by hitting rock bottom.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, and he admits, look, these moments are often strong, they're undesirable, and frankly, they're painful. But paradoxically, he suggests we often need these jarring experiences to truly, wake up
and
critically to begin paying attention. Now, this concept of attention, as he really laid out in that foundational audio we mentioned, isn't just about mental focus. It's deeper.
How so?
It's the consciousness of your own vibration, an awareness of the movement of energy within you, and also tapping into the profound wisdom found in silence.
So less like a mental exercise, more like an energetic tuning.
Exactly. Tuning into your deepest self.
Yeah.
It's fundamental to his whole approach.
Okay, so if we unpack that idea of attention a bit more, what does that really mean for our everyday lives? How does it play out?
Well, it really highlights how easily we can get hooked on the quick fix, doesn't it?
Right. The easy answer.
Yeah, and Vincent Crown delivers this really clear, potent critique of what he calls the era of symptom alleviation.
The era of symptom alleviation.
Oh. He uses this incredibly powerful analogy. He says it's like taking a pain reliever without ever understanding or addressing the root cause of the pain itself.
Makes sense. The pain might disappear for a bit, feels good.
Right, offers immediate comfort. But the underlying issue, the actual source of the discomfort, it just persists. It lies dormant, basically ready to flare up again.
And he extends that analogy.
He does. He paints this vivid picture. Like, imagine going to a luxurious spa. We all know that feeling, right? After a week at some beautiful retreat in Bali, or maybe just a serene afternoon at a spa in your own city, you emerge feeling relaxed, rejuvenated, totally blissful.
Oh yeah, definitely know that feeling.
But here's the crucial question he poses. How much of that temporary relief, that fleeting sense of well-being, do you actually carry back into your everyday life?
Good question.
Do those shifts truly integrate into your daily routines, your relationships, your whole way of being? Or do you just, fall back into the same old patterns and anxieties the moment you step back into your familiar world?
That's a really compelling challenge to how we often chase feeling good, isn't it? That immediate gratification.
That's precisely the point he hammers home. He highlights how this whole approach, this focus on symptom alleviation, often creates these subtle but kind of insidious dependencies.
Dependencies. Like what?
We find ourselves constantly going back to an external source.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a specific meditation class or a high-intensity workout like CrossFit, or even those lovely spa days because it provides that fleeting sense of relief, or just a temporary escape from our current, often uncomfortable reality.
He mentions CrossFit specifically.
He does, using his own experience as an example. He says he genuinely loves it, the camaraderie, the coaching, the physical challenge. But he points out, fundamentally, it's a brutal activity that demands his immediate here and now attention.
Because you have to focus, right? Or you get hurt.
Exactly. If he loses focus for a split second, lifting a heavy bar, boom, serious injury potential. And while that kind of immediate external focus definitely has its benefits, his core message suggests that true, lasting transformation requires going beyond that.
So the goal isn't just to feel better temporarily or distract yourself.
Right. The real goal, he argues, isn't just alleviating a symptom. It's to know and transcend by transforming what he calls your vibrational root.
Okay, vibrational root. What does that mean exactly?
Think of it like the energetic blueprint of your core patterns, the foundational frequency of your being, maybe. He insists this transformation is emphatically not an external journey. It's not about accumulating more courses or ticking off boxes of outward progress.
It's internal then.
Deeply internal.
Right.
A profound retuning of your inner energetic landscape.
So in essence, he's really pushing us to think about where true sustainable change actually comes from. It's not just about adding more information, more knowledge, more concepts to your brain, like filling up a cup.
Exactly. It's not additive in that way.
It's more about liberating energy. Energy that's been trapped in old patterns or maybe unresolved emotions, limiting beliefs, held in your body, an energy field.
That's a great way to phrase it. It's about a fundamental reconfiguration of your internal landscape, almost like, defragging a hard drive so new, more efficient connections can form.
And this all loops back to that core idea of attention we talked about.
Precisely. The consciousness of your vibration, the movement of energy, and the wisdom held in silence. This isn't just some abstract academic idea he's floating. It's about cultivating a deep, almost tangible internal shift that starts with being truly present to your own energetic reality, becoming an active participant in your inner world, not just a passive observer.
Okay, so connecting this to the bigger picture then. Personal growth, spiritual paths. How does this philosophy fit in?
Well, Vincent Crown's philosophy firmly asserts that there is no single prescribed path to awakening.
No one right way.
No, simply because there's no single way to live that awakening once it happens.
Yeah.
And this is exactly why he's meticulously designed these different doors, various paths, distinct levels of depth. The whole point is to accompany individuals from where you are.
Not from where someone else thinks you should be.
Exactly. Or even from a mistaken idea of where you might think you are.
Yeah.
He's actually incredibly firm on this, pushing back quite vigorously against what he sees as exclusionary systems in the world of personal development and spiritual practice.
That feels like a powerful challenge because, let's be honest, in a world full of different systems, spiritual, self-help, even philosophical ones, they often, maybe inadvertently, maybe deliberately, create a sense of exclusivity, right?
Absolutely. So the question becomes, how does a program genuinely adapt to the individual without demanding they conform?
Yeah.
And Vincent Crown states this explicitly. His program is open to anyone, regardless of their religious background. He says you can be Muslim, Buddhist, Christian, from any tribal or cultural tradition, and still fully participate.
That's not about beliefs or gods.
Not at all. He emphasizes it's fundamentally about energy, vibration, and a process of genuine accompaniment. He's actually quite critical of religious or meditative organizations that, in his view, seek to capture adherents or make a church. He argues those systems inherently exclude anyone who doesn't fit neatly into their particular framework.
Interesting. So he wants to open these paths up.
Wholeheartedly, to everyone, regardless of their background or current spiritual leaning.
What really stands out there is his commitment to adaptability. You said it stems from deep listening.
Yes, that seems to be the key. He keenly recognizes that not everyone meditates. Or maybe they can't meditate in the conventional sense, or perhaps they just don't want to.
Like, some people find closing their eyes really difficult or uncomfortable.
Precisely. He acknowledges that. Some individuals might find it genuinely impossible to close their eyes for even a few minutes without significant discomfort. To mean they're wrong or maladjusted or just incapable of doing deep work.
According to him, no.
Absolutely not, he insists. For those individuals, he thoughtfully finds other mechanisms, alternative exercises, things that are maybe less intense or shorter in duration. And crucially, there's no judgment, no forcing, no pressure.
That's refreshing.
He emphasizes the program isn't an industrial model. It's not rigid, built from some fixed curriculum. He describes it as organic and alive, constantly evolving, built from deep, empathetic listening to each unique human process.
So it's about finding your way in, whatever that looks like, while keeping it safe and authentic.
Exactly.
That is incredibly refreshing to hear. I mean, imagine a program that genuinely meets you exactly where you are, respects your unique makeup, your history, without slapping rigid expectations on you or demanding you fit into some predetermined box.
It's a powerful idea.
Especially in a landscape that's often dominated by those cookie-cutter approaches. But while it sounds really flexible and inclusive, it's also important to understand, you mentioned there are some practical limits and prerequisites. He's quite open about those too.
Yes. And these limits are really crucial for understanding the integrity of his work, I think. First, he strongly emphasizes this is not a mass-produced product.
Meaning?
He deliberately does not sell recorded audios. Why? Because he firmly believes in the power of individual impact and the necessity of direct personal connection.
He prefers live interaction.
Vastly prefers it. Whether that's online through live sessions or within his physical studio, he feels that true transformative impact comes from that tailored, immediate, responsive connection, not from some generic pre-recorded course that can't adapt in real time.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Secondly, and this is a really critical prerequisite mainly for safety and effectiveness, participants cannot be undergoing psychiatric treatment or taking potent medication. He specifically mentions lithium as an example.
Ah, okay. That's a significant boundary. Why lithium?
He shares a specific insight from his experience, maybe from talking to doctors or participants. Apparently, some doctors actively advise against certain meditative or deep work practices for patients on lithium because of the peculiar states they might enter, states that could actually be destabilizing rather than beneficial.
Right, so it's a safety measure.
Absolutely. He underscores that absolute honesty about your health status is paramount, not just for your own safety, but also for maintaining the deep conceptual integrity and the effectiveness of the program itself.
That level of transparency from a guide, it feels so vital, doesn't it? He's basically asking for a profound level of sincerity and openness from you, the participant. And he's mirroring that with his own commitment to being direct and crystal clear about who this program is for, and just as importantly, who it isn't for.
Exactly. It builds trust.
Okay, so with that understanding of his core philosophy and those foundational boundaries in place, let's dive into the actual pathways. You said there are 4 distinct paths he offers for transformation, moving from maybe the most accessible entry point to the most immersive.
That's right. The first pathway is the individual class. He gives it this meaningful title, El Impulso Necesario, which translates to the necessary impulse.
The necessary impulse. I like that.
It's conceived as this potent, immediate starting point, based on the understanding that sometimes, honestly, a single, focused session is genuinely enough to open a profound threshold within someone.
So, who is this ideal for?
It's maybe ideal for those who are just curious. Or perhaps they're grappling with some lingering doubts about doing this kind of deep work. Maybe even feeling what he calls a healthy shame about starting.
Healthy shame? What does he mean by that?
It's not about self-condemnation, he clarifies. It's more a feeling that prompts you to explore, to grow, to move forward, rather than making you retreat. The core idea here is you don't always need a long, drawn-out path to get things moving. Sometimes just a sharp, clear, well-directed impulse is all it takes to shift a pattern you've been stuck in for ages.
And he describes this class not just as a chat, right?
Definitely not. He calls it a moment of absolute focus. Typically lasting over an hour, it dives directly into what now demands your attention. Addressing immediate pressing issues, not abstract ideas or far-off goals.
So not a consultation, not advice giving.
Explicitly not. It's framed as an activation. A well-directed spark, specifically designed to ignite a larger process of transformation within you. Maybe you come with this long-held emotional blockage you can't quite name, or a pervasive sense of feeling lost, or some dimension of yourself you just don't know how to grasp.
Does it matter if you can't clearly define the issue beforehand?
He says the precise intellectual clarity isn't as critical as your willingness to feel it, to engage with it on a deeper, energetic level.
Okay. And what happens in this individual class? What techniques does he use?
During this class, he employs a range of very specific targeted techniques. Things like meticulous work with conscious breathing patterns, guided visualizations designed to access deeper states, conscious vibration techniques to shift your energy.
Conscious vibration.
Yeah, ways of using awareness and intention to work directly with your energy field. And when your moment feels right and the person is ready, deep emotional observation.
And the goal of these techniques?
They're carefully chosen and applied to help open up old, maybe long-suppressed memories, or to release deep-seated physical or emotional tensions, or sometimes to reveal profound messages that your conscious mind might have been silencing for years.
Sounds intense, but also potentially very releasing.
Definitely. And he stresses that the entire environment is carefully curated. The aim is to create a truly safe and secure space, allowing your body, your nervous system, to feel profoundly secure. Because only then can the deeper, more vulnerable work begin without resistance.
Now, one aspect you mentioned that sounds really interesting is the personalization. How does that work for just a single class?
It's quite unique. Participants aren't just given a generic session. Instead, they have the ability to choose from 40 specific titles, which are spread across 8 main modules he offers in his longer programs.
40 titles, wow!
Yeah. Or you can even request a completely custom preparation, tailored specifically to your unique needs at that moment.
So that choice, it's like tuning a compass.
That's exactly the analogy he uses. Tuning a compass directly to your specific energetic frequency. It allows you to go straight to the heart of what you genuinely want to work on. You arrive knowing, roughly, what you want to address, and the session is meticulously tailored to that precise need, maximizing the impact and relevance for your journey right then.
Okay, so if someone's listening and thinking, maybe this necessary impulse is for me, what's really expected of them?
Primarily, he asks for sincerity, just showing up honestly. While it's not an absolute must, he does strongly recommend watching his foundational video on quantum vibration beforehand.
Why? Just as homework?
Not really as homework or a tedious obligation, more as a self-directed act of commitment. Commitment to yourself and to the potential of the work you're about to do.
Okay. And you mentioned something important earlier. He doesn't ask about past suffering.
Yes. Crucially, the guide will never ask you to recount your past suffering, your pain, or to delve into the narrative of what happened to you.
Why is that boundary so important?
He says it serves a dual purpose. First, it profoundly respects your intimacy. Second, it protects his own conceptual and energetic integrity. It prevents the exercises and the whole process from being influenced or colored by his personal emotional reaction to your story. It ensures a pure, objective guidance.
So the focus stays purely on the energy work.
Solely and entirely on the vibrational work you undertake together, allowing for, hopefully, an unadulterated exploration.
And then what happens after this class?
Well, if after this powerful initial session, you feel a deep resonance, maybe a profound curiosity bubbles up, or you just have this undeniable sense that something significant has been awakened or set in motion, then the natural next step could be to enroll in a complete module for more sustained work.
Or just do another individual session.
Or perhaps opt for another individual session, to continue building on that initial necessary impulse. It depends on what feels right for you.
Okay, so moving beyond that initial spark, the second pathway offers a bit more of a sustained commitment, right? The complete module, usually 5 or 6 sessions.
Exactly. This pathway is specifically designed for those processes that, frankly, demand more than just a breath, more than a fleeting spark.
Things that need more time.
Right. It recognizes that certain profound transformations require more dedicated time, a greater depth of engagement, and what he calls a loving, dedicated, and integrated structure.
Why the structure?
So you can traverse these complex layers of personal transformation without getting lost or feeling overwhelmed or just stagnating. Each module is meticulously crafted to accompany you through a specific vital process. And those 5 or 6 sessions are typically meant to be completed within a focused period, usually 1 month.
1 month? That signals a real commitment, doesn't it?
It does. That compressed time frame isn't arbitrary. It signals a clear, committed engagement from you, the participant. It helps ensure momentum and consistent progress as you move through the deeper layers of the work.
So this is where the commitment really deepens. I remember the source text uses that evocative phrase, "Aki he pring," which you translated as what here we get messy, or here there's a real sticky situation.
Yeah, something like that. It vividly implies, a deeper, more involved, and sometimes more challenging process that genuinely requires your unwavering commitment.
But it's not just messy, right? It's structured, too.
Absolutely. It's not an improvised journey or just a loose collection of exercises. He describes the work as profoundly deep, but also beautifully structured. It meticulously follows a coherent frequency or theme. This allows you to advance steadily without getting scattered, without feeling saturated with too much information, and most importantly, without being overwhelmed.
So maintaining kindness towards yourself through it all.
That's key. Cultivating a profound sense of gentle kindness with yourself as you navigate through what is undeniably an intense and transformative process.
What kinds of things might someone focus on in a complete module?
The focus areas are quite diverse, really tailored to your specific needs. It might be centered around the profound process of closing a specific life stage, bringing a sense of completion and release.
Like ending a career or a relationship.
Could be, yeah. Alternatively, it could be dedicated to addressing a repetitive, exhausting pattern you recognize in your life. And here's an important point. The guide won't ask what the specific pattern is, again, respecting your privacy. Only if you observe one and genuinely desire to explore and shift it.
That respect for privacy seems really consistent.
It does. Or the module could be geared towards resolving a deep internal disconnection that you feel you just can't sustain anymore.
And regardless of the starting point, the approach is holistic.
Very much so. You and the guide immerse yourself step by step, layer by layer, consciously bringing together your mind, your body, your energy field, your emotions, your memories, all onto the table for deep, integrated work.
And the guiding principle, you mentioned it before.
Ah, yes. Profoundly compassionate yet firm. Nothing is forced, but nothing is postponed.
Nothing forced, nothing postponed. Can you give an example?
He provides a critical example to illustrate this balance. If, during a powerful exercise, you find yourself saying, I can't, maybe because fear comes up or intense emotion, the approach shifts immediately, instantly.
So no pushing through.
Absolutely no pressure to push through or conform. The focus remains entirely on ensuring your safety and facilitating your continued progress. They'll find other, equally effective mechanisms that respect your current capacity right where you are in that moment.
That's a huge reassurance, I think, for anyone considering deep personal work. It takes away some of the fear. So what does this pathway truly mean for you, the person doing it? What tools are used?
The tools employed here are incredibly varied, but also intensely practical. The guide uses specific vibrational techniques, targeted exercises, carefully selected music, often designed specifically to shift energetic states.
Music as a tool, interesting.
Yeah, and somatic attention that's focusing awareness on your bodily sensations, and even simple concentration exercises. These can naturally lead to what he calls modified states of consciousness.
Modified states? Like, what? Does he mean psychedelic states?
Not necessarily, no. It could be states of profound calm or heightened awareness or deep meditative absorption. Things achieved through techniques like focused breathing or specific sound frequencies he might use. The objective here isn't about piling on more intellectual content or cognitive understanding.
It's about that reconfiguration again.
Fundamentally, yes. It's about literally freeing trapped energy.
Yeah.
Energy that's been held stagnant in old patterns or unresolved experiences. And this liberation allows you to finally move forward authentically, truthfully, discovering new neural pathways, new emotional interconnections, always respecting your capacity for openness and your willingness to, well, dare to explore.
Okay, so that's the module. Now, for those ready for an even deeper commitment, there's the third pathway, the complete program spanning 4 months.
That's right, an intensive 4-month period.
And this is described differently again as a navigation, a traversal, a deep, intimate, vibrational rewriting. That sounds significant.
It is. It encompasses 40 individual classes over those 4 months. So it's clearly not just a standard course. It's presented as a truly transformative journey into the very fabric of your being.
What's the core idea behind this longer program?
What's truly fascinating here is that this comprehensive program is designed to help you uncover an entirely new internal map, one that organically emerges from within you. It's not something imposed by external formulas or predetermined frameworks.
An internal map.
Yeah.
How does it uncover that?
It meticulously follows the footprints of your emotional history, he says. identifying persistent blockages, rediscovering your forgotten gifts, maybe addressing those nagging questions that wouldn't leave you in peace.
So it's not about becoming someone else, a better version.
Emphatically not in the conventional sense. Instead, it's about returning to the core of what you are. But, and this is key, doing so from a place you've never inhabited before, a more authentic, unburdened expression of yourself.
And it goes deeper than symptoms.
Much deeper. This program delves de profundis, as he puts it, to profound depths, addressing not just the surface stuff, but the underlying energetic forces that sustain those repetitive patterns. He calls them pendulums.
Pendulums, like we get stuck swinging back and forth.
Exactly. Think of those automatic, often self-defeating loops we get stuck in, like constantly seeking external validation or repeatedly falling into the same relationship dynamics, or maybe reliving past failures over and over. Vincent Crown's work here aims to shift the underlying energetic momentum that keeps those pendulums swinging.
How? What does it work with?
It works holistically with your physical body, your voice, the power of silence, your breath, your presence, and expanded states of consciousness. And it's all grounded in those 3 core pillars we discussed earlier: attention, consciousness of vibration, and the movement of energy within silence.
Okay, so to really grasp the impact, what does this all mean for the participant? Who is this 4-month program really for?
This complete program is for those who are genuinely ready to move far beyond the quick fixes. People ready to embrace what he calls a total work, a comprehensive structural change, a fundamental vibrational reordering.
And this reordering, how does it show up?
The source describes it as something so profound that it will reflect vibrantly in every aspect of your life. How you speak, how you feel, how you make decisions, how you breathe, how you sleep, even how you look, how you love.
Wow, so it's not just an internal feeling, it manifests externally too.
It seems so, but the beauty of this transformation, he suggests, is that it's not primarily an external validation that other people will comment on, like, oh, you seem calmer now, or you're thinking better, although that might happen.
It's more internal.
Instead, it's something you will feel profoundly from the inside out, leading to this deeply rooted sense of peace, maybe joy, definitely authenticity within yourself. An undeniable internal shift.
Now, connecting this to the broader world of personal development, you mentioned he rejects the idea of a finish line.
Yes, this is a crucial and really distinguishing aspect of his philosophy. He outright rejects that widespread idea that these deep transformative programs have some definitive finish line where you finally arrive at a fixed, enlightened state.
He critiques others who imply that.
He does offer a sharp critique of other approaches or systems that imply such a completion, or those that claim superiority based on specific peak experiences, like maybe very expensive retreats, or even those highly publicized psilocybin journeys.
Does he have experience with those?
He's very open about his own experiences. He acknowledges he himself has had profound, illuminating experiences with psilocybin, actually describing them as among the most fascinating and impactful of his entire life.
But he doesn't teach that.
Makes it absolutely clear.
Yeah.
His program does not involve or teach those specific methods. He believes that implying a definitive end to the journey or suggesting you reach some static, enlightened state is fundamentally misleading, counterproductive even.
So what's the goal then, if not arrival?
The true goal, he argues, isn't about earning a medal or reaching some final fixed destination. It's simply about becoming more deeply and authentically you. A continuous process of self-unfolding, not a final state to achieve.
That's actually a really refreshing perspective, especially in a world that often demands that clear before and after story for personal growth.
It is. So this complete program, then, it's framed not as a promise of formulas or some guaranteed outcome, but as an invitation to a profound experience.
Who is it inviting?
It's designed for those who've reached a point where they feel something can no longer continue in their current state. People who are truly ready to cross a threshold from which, as he puts it, there is no return.
No return. What does that mean? Scary.
Not necessarily scary, but profound, meaning on the other side of this deep work, there is only a truer, more essential you. It's a deep commitment to radical self-discovery and internal transformation.
Okay, that covers the first 3. Now the 4th and most intense pathway, the hyper-personalized program. This sounds serious.
It is presented as the most intense offering, yes, described as having a brutal impact, which really indicates its profound intensity and transformative power.
And it's very exclusive.
Highly. It was initially designed to be offered to only 4 individuals per year, ideally conducted as an exclusive one-on-one experience.
Just one person.
Ideally. He says if two people participate together, they must know each other exceptionally well and demonstrate an absolute shared commitment to embarking on this intense journey as a unified pair.
Wow, that immediately conveys the immense dedication, the focused energy, the profound intimacy involved in this highest level.
Absolutely. And what's truly remarkable, deeply resonant here, is the immersive format. It involves two intensely focused weekends.
Just 2 weekends?
2 intense weekends. They can be consecutive or separated by a single week. And it's held in a carefully chosen location, a cool, beautiful, pleasant place, specifically designed to facilitate deep internal work.
Can anyone just sign up?
Definitely not. It requires an extensive, in-depth interview beforehand. He's very clear. It is emphatically not suitable for everyone. It demands an extraordinarily high level of dedication, presence, and unwavering commitment from the guide himself.
Why is it structured this way?
He says this unique format often emerges when the soul calls. He describes it almost like a sacred pact between two conscious presences.
Not just guide and student.
No, it transcends that. It's like two energetic beings entering a sacred field of deep reconfiguration. That implies a deeply collaborative and highly energetically charged undertaking.
Okay, this sounds completely different. You mentioned no theory, no screens.
Right. This particular program has 0 theoretical lectures, no screens involved, and absolutely no distance between the participant and the guide. It's described as intensive and radically immersive.
And the guide works with you constantly.
Every instant is the phrase used. And this isn't just during formally designated sessions. It extends into the invisible, through subtle symbols, meticulously chosen music designed to shift vibrational states, the carefully created energetic vibration within the shared space.
Wow. So everything is part of the process.
Everything. Imagine a space where your every breath becomes a profound prayer, where your body is honored as a living temple, where emotion is understood as a fundamental language for your internal dialogue, and where silence itself is potent medicine.
That sounds incredibly immersive, almost ritualistic, a complete energetic recalibration.
That's a good way to put it. Every gesture, every word, even the unseen elements contribute to a specific, intentional vibrational purpose.
And how tailored is something that intense?
He emphasizes the journey is designed with extreme precision, meticulously adapted to your unique history, your individual sensitivity, your intrinsic rhythms.
And the health prerequisite still applies here. Strongly.
Absolutely crucial here. Participants absolutely cannot be undergoing psychiatric treatment or taking potent medication. That boundary is firm. Before anyone embarks on this most profound journey, there's that private interview. It's to assess what he calls vibratory honesty.
Vibratory honesty.
Essentially, an authentic, unvarnished self-assessment of your true energetic state and your genuine readiness for this living alchemy, as he calls it.
So it's not a luxury retreat.
Definitely not. It's emphasized that this isn't a luxury service. It's positioned as a profound rite of passage, a powerful crossing, a brutal awakening that demands total commitment.
He mentions his own experience.
He does. He poignantly references his own 8.5-month intensive experience and all-encompassing daily immersion in a meditative center to underscore the sheer depth involved and the significant time often needed for assimilation after such an intense transformation.
Assimilation is key.
Crucial. And the ultimate goal, he consistently stresses, is simply reaching you. Not some ultimate final destination or an enlightened state where the journey just stops. He makes this powerful, liberating point. You will never truly arrive at an endpoint, even after spending thousands of euros or years searching. You will only arrive more profoundly at yourself.
And he wraps up the section with such a simple but really resonant statement.
Yes, you are not clients, you are people.
That just underlines the whole thing, doesn't it? The deeply human, intensely personal, authentic nature of these programs. It goes way beyond a typical transactional relationship.
Completely. And if we connect all this back to the bigger picture of personal transformation, it becomes abundantly clear that this is, as he says, not a path of mental certainties, but of internal resonances.
Internal resonances, meaning trust your gut feeling.
Pretty much. The invitation at every single step is to listen intently to that soft but firm intuition that whispers, "It's this way." Even if you can't yet logically name it or define it or fully explain it to someone else, it's about tuning into your inner compass.
So as you, the listener, reflect on this deep dive into Vincent Crown's program, maybe consider which starting point resonates most with your current needs, your current readiness for change.
Yeah, it's a personal inventory.
Like, if you simply need a focused conversation right now, or a space to just breathe deeply with someone non-judgmental, maybe explore one single topic without a huge commitment, then that individual class, the necessary impulse, might be your perfect first step. Concrete, revealing, maybe surprisingly impactful.
Makes sense.
But if you desire a more focused, structured transformation, if you clearly know which specific stage of your life needs traversing, or there's a particular pattern you really want to shift, then the complete module could offer that structured guidance and dedicated support your process needs, helping you navigate through that messy but essential work.
Right, for more targeted change.
And then, if you feel you're ready to address your entire being, to fundamentally rewrite your story from the core, uncover that internal map where nothing's left out, every layer explored, then the complete program over 4 months could be that profound vibrational journey you've been seeking, that total reordering of your inner landscape.
For the deep dive.
And finally, if what you're truly asking for isn't just another process, if you feel that this exact moment in your life signifies a definitive, powerful crossing, a real point of no return that demands radical immersion, then maybe that hyper-personalized program awaits you. Without screens, without masks, without concessions, offering that uniquely profound, immersive experience tailored precisely to your soul's calling.
It's quite a spectrum of options, really. And this brings us to a crucial question that often comes up when you consider this kind of transformative work. How does the guide's own journey, their personal evolution, reflect the very principles they teach?
That's always important, isn't it? Authenticity.
Hugely. And Vincent Crown's remarkable willingness to share his own growth, his own imperfections, even openly acknowledging past contradictions in his own content. That speaks volumes about the authenticity and the human element of his message, I think.
What does he share specifically?
He talks very candidly about his own discomfort, historically, with his voice and appearance. He describes his voice as nasal, even a disaster sometimes, and his movements as occasionally awkward.
But he kept putting content out there.
Exactly. He made the deliberate choice to continue producing content, to listen thoughtfully to the criticisms he received, some constructive, some not, and to simply keep going, embracing the process.
And he sees his YouTube channel as part of that process.
He does. He views his own prolific channel with thousands of videos spanning years as a direct reflection of his ongoing personal process, where content from years ago might even appear to contradict what he articulates today.
And he's okay with that.
He finds it absolutely fine, necessary even, because it powerfully demonstrates that the journey of transformation isn't about perfection. It's about continuous learning, profound self-love, and radical self-acceptance, even through what might look like mistakes.
He redefines mistake.
He offers this beautiful redefinition of pecado, a Spanish word often translated as sin. He frames it not as a moral failing or transgression, but simply as a stumble.
Just a stumble.
Yeah, and when you stumble, he reminds us, what do? You simply pick yourself up, learn from the experience, maybe adjust your balance, and keep moving forward with renewed attention and self-compassion.
That's a much kinder way to look at learning and growth. So as you, listening, reflect on this deep dive into the pathways of the Vincent Crown program, and maybe on the very nature of profound personal change itself, perhaps consider this final thought. If true transformation isn't really about reaching some fixed, ultimate endpoint, but about constantly, continually becoming more authentically you, what is the very next whisper your intuition is sending you? What's it gently nudging you towards in terms of that deeper, more honest work within yourself?
That's the question to sit with. Ultimately, the core message that threads through all of Vincent Crown's work seems beautifully profound and simple. Attention is the consciousness of your vibration, the movement of your energy, and the wisdom of silence.
It always comes back to that.
It does. The journey, as we've explored today, is really about continuous learning and cultivating that radical self-love, even and perhaps especially through those inevitable stumbles.
So reflect on which pathway, if any, resonates right now.
Exactly. We encourage you to reflect deeply on which pathway feels most aligned with your current needs, your inner knowing, emphasizing again that this journey of becoming is profoundly personal and truly, truly ongoing. Thank you for diving deep with us today.